Hello, and welcome to Japanese craft beer reviews. As we do sometimes, today we're going to look at some brews from the major Japanese breweries. Sometimes they put out a number of beers every year, and I like to keep up with them and see what they're doing. Sometimes the results are great, sometimes the results are not, but it is a fact that they are all four Japanese breweries, and that includes Asahi, Kirin, Sapporo, and Suntory. Some people add Orion, but they're owned by Asahi, Orion in Okinawa. These breweries are all, exceptionally good brewers, and they can make probably anything they want to. Kind of proof of that is if you've ever had Asahi Stout. It's absolutely an exceptional, unusual stout, which actually includes Brett yeast in it. And their lagers are generally clean and clear. Some of the best ones are just wonderful. And unlike the situation in many countries where the large brewers put out junk or cut corners on ingredients, perhaps don't use the best quality. In Japan, generally they do use the best ingredients they can find, and the quality is not bad. So Japanese lager compares very favorably with any say Euro lager, or certainly with the major lagers in the United States, like say Budweiser or Bud Light. And so we're going to take a look today at some beer from Kirin, and this is a series of 6 beers we're going to look at. It's called the Ichiban Shibori series, and today we're going to look at the first one, and then we will look at 5 others. Ichiban Shibori came out in 1990. It was a kind of competition with Asahi Super Dry, which was produced in 1987. And Asahi Super Dry was a beer designed to have very low mouthfeel and to finish crisp and dry. A super attenuated beer, in other words. But of course many people, including myself, find those beers very light and watery. Asahi Super Dry was, and I don't know if it still is, the most popular beer in Japan. You can find it anywhere. It's kind of the Budweiser for beer geeks in Japan, the beer to make fun of. It's not terrible, but it's just not a great beer. In any case, Asahi brought out Ichiban Shibori in 1990, and the name Ichiban Shibori means first press, the first press. And on their website, they make the claim that most brewers blend their first and second press. So the first is supposedly clean and pure, and the second one is bitter and bodied. And one of the goals of these beers is to have low, very light body. But actually, it's not a press. What it really is they're talking about is sparging. So the wort is drawn off, and then water is sprinkled over the wort that has been drained already for a second rinse, kind of, which is sparging. So there's actually no pressure. It's not like wine where they're pressing the grapes out, that sort of thing. So it's a gravity thing. Any case, we're going to look at 6 of these beers, and in order, you will see the picture which I had at the beginning, and that's the way we're going to do them. And the first one will be Kirin Ichiban Shibori, the first one they brought out. And here we go with another in the Kirin Ichiban Shibori series, and this is a very new one. In fact, it came out in October this year, October 6th to be exact. It was released on that day, and this is called Kirin Ichiban Shibori Toushitsu Zero, and what it means is it's a 0 carb, 0 sugar beer. And it's considered a pale lager, American style, on rate beer, which has 0 ratings so far. 4% alcohol, and on Untapped it has 151 ratings, an average of 2.35, not very high. Now, it may seem like a gimmick, but in Japan people are very health conscious, and this is the first beer ever made with 0 sugar and 0 carbs in Japan, and maybe in the world perhaps. And they have made 0 sugar, 0 carb beers in low malt beers and no malt beers, which are also very popular in Japan. Low malt meaning below 50% malt, and no malt meaning they used, for example, soybeans or something else to produce the fermentation. And this is the first beer which actually has 0 malt and 0 carbs. So they claim it took them 350 trials and to make this over 5 years. They worked on it, and it turns out that it's very, very popular. The liquor store that I went to the other day had stacks of this in front of the cash register in the line, so people would pass by it here. And apparently they reached 1/2 of their annual sales target in just a week. So they are, I think Kirin is probably pretty happy with this, with the sales of this here in any case. So very, a beer for health conscious people, people who don't want sugar, who don't want carbs, but want to drink beer. Again, it's called Ichiban Shibori Toushitsu Zero, a 4% pale lager. Let's give it a go, shall we? The can has a very different color from most of these Ichiban Shibori, a very bright blue color. Okay, what do we got here? It is very pale, extremely pale, almost champagne-like kind of look, clear, maybe some slight chill haze, with a half finger of kind of futzy sort of head. Yeah, diminishing quickly, no lace whatsoever. Carbonation you can see here pretty clearly, I think. I'm going to put it through the light. This is going to just zoom out into the ether. Yeah, there's nothing there, almost nothing to give it any body in terms of the appearance. Okay, let's try the nose. Oh boy. Okay. This does not have spirits in it, but it seems like it has something else. No. Okay, it's got a kind of thin, weedy, kind of stinky, weedy sort of nose, like maybe 2 or 3 day old garbage in the sun. Yeah, very sharp, kind of pungent sort of nose, not pleasant. Flavor, quite similar. I mean, in fact, it seems like I would say like a happoshu, perhaps, a low malt beer. Very thin body, very watery. Well, I suppose health conscious people will pick it up and drink it. The low malt and no malt beers are quite popular in Japan. Price conscious people, are trying to keep their habit going, but don't want to pay the full price for all malt beers. And this is the latest one. We'll see how popular it is, how popular it becomes. But so far it seems to be quite popular. What can I say? Kirin Ichiban Shibori Toushitsu Zero, I would say don't try this unless you are absolutely concerned with the sugar and carb content of your beers over the flavor and aroma of your beers. I do not recommend this whatsoever, but you may want to give it a go. Okay. We have one more Kirin Ichiban Shibori beer, which we will look at in our next video, and I hope you tune in for that. I hope you're doing well. I hope you've gotten a haircut more often than I have. I haven't been to the hair salon or barber since maybe February, March, something like that. It's been a while. Anyway, I hope you're getting out and about. The coronavirus is picking up these days. Please stay safe. Bye-bye.